If I can have everyone's attention, please. I'm Kerry Gilbert with Sprint. I want to thank you all for being here today. As many of you know, the Advocare 500 is the final race of the Sprint Summer Showdown presented by the HTC Evo 3D. First of all, you may know that this is the largest promotion that we've ever executed around Sprint's title sponsorship of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. And we want to thank all of you for the awareness and the excitement that you've helped generate through your coverage of this promotion. We're joined by the four finalists who have a shot at winning the Sprint Summer Showdown on Sunday night. And I'm going to introduce them in the order of which they qualified. First of all, we have Paul Menard, who won the Brickyard 400, his first career NASCAR Sprint Cup Series win. Brad Keselowski, who won at Pocono Raceway. Motor Ambrose, who also won his first career Sprint Cup Series race at Watkins Glen International. Kyle Busch, who won at Michigan. And then, as you all know, Brad closed it out this past weekend and made it 4 qualifiers instead of 5 by also winning at Bristol Motor Speedway. If one of those 4 win on Sunday, they'll claim the $3 million payout. That is $1 million for the driver, $1 million for their chosen charity, and $1 million for a lucky fan. In the case of Brad, since he won 2 of the 5 qualifying races, he has 2 fans paired with him, and if he wins on Sunday night, they will equally split that $1 million. So, guys, just to go down the line here and have all 4 of you answer. Obviously, in addition to winning the money for yourselves, which I know would be a big deal, and obviously going to victory lane anytime is huge, but to be able to change the life of a fan and also affect a lot of lives for the charities that you've chosen, does that change your mindset going into the race at all? Is that any additional pressure? And just give us your thoughts heading into the race, please, all 4 of you.
Well, I'm looking forward to, obviously, this race weekend here in Atlanta, and it's a very awesome promotion, and proud of Sprint for putting it on to give everyone an opportunity to do some great things, whether it's for the fans or obviously there's an element for the team, which has got my guys all riled up, and another element for the foundations and charities that all of us drivers represent. So it's going to be a great cause, and proud to be a part of it, and we'll just have to see which one of us can win it if the 4 of us can get it done.
And Marcos?
Just an awesome opportunity. Who would have thought you could race to try and win $3 million? My charity is obviously with Richard Petty in the Victory Junction camp. So, really excited about trying to win $1 million for them, as well as for the sprint voter. But, this is my first race here for my team, and, we're an outside chance. But there's no reason why I wouldn't take the money if I get to victory lane.
Paul?
Well, we're obviously we're trying to make the chase first and foremost, but this definitely adds extra incentive. We've got Habitat for Humanity is our charity, and Andrea Gay from New Jersey, I believe, is our fan. So a little extra added bonus. We're not going to try any harder or any less hard. We're going hard, and if we win, it's a big deal.
Yeah, we're obviously honored to be in the position to have the opportunity to go after the money, of course, and thank Sprint for putting it on in the program that they've done for us here. And, with the Kyle Busch Foundation, certainly that can affect a lot of lives across the United States of America with the 5 children's homes that we currently represent, as well as the, few more that we can probably pick up with these funds and be able to support and help out. So really looking forward to that. And, of course, being able to win $1 million for the fan, young lady who's been unemployed for about 6 months, unfortunately, and her husband just got laid off recently. So certainly they're looking for the most that they can in these recent troubled months that they've had. So it would certainly be a fitting story to see them take home the opportunity to win the money along with us with the 18 car here this weekend.
Oh, and I need to mention that we're going to keep Marcos and Paul for a few minutes, and then we'll let them go. And then Brad and Kyle will use the next time frame for their top 12 media availability. One other question, just any one of you would like to take it. So if it comes down to, that final pit stop on Sunday night, and do you gamble on 2, 4, maybe a fuel only? Might it change your pit strategy heading into that final pit stop?
Atlanta's pretty much a given. Take 4. No matter what. So certainly it may depend a few scenarios, but if it's a fuel run to the end of the race and you're 8 laps short or something like that, you might come in and just take 2 tires in order to get the jump on everybody else. But it would certainly have to be special circumstances for that to happen.
It definitely depends on where you're at, how you're running. We took 2 tires in the spring and jumped from 10th to I believe 2nd. and it held on for 5th place, or this last year. So it just depends on where you're running. We're going to, for us, we have to win a race in order to get in the chase. As Brad's shown, he's going to get in pretty. Looks promising for him, and us 4, 5 guys have to fight it out for the last spot. So we're definitely going to roll the dice, gamble, and go for broke.
We have some wireless mics. If anyone has a question, right over there.
Ed Hinton, ESPN. Excuse me, Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Back up here a little bit to your right. Especially for Kyle and Brad. A bonus like this built in. Neither of you guys, I mean, you both are in sort of able to gamble mode as far as the chase is concerned. Does a thing like this turn it into almost like an all-star race mentality for you guys who are not shy with the bumpers anyway? Or do you say, well, there's a lot at stake, I might play it a little more methodical, or is it somewhere in between?
Certainly, that's a good point. I think there's a line somewhere there in between, but it does sort of have that all-star feel. When do you ever get a chance to race after $3 million? So it'll certainly depend on a lot of things. But you look at the all-star race and how it went down this year. I wasn't able to catch the 99. If I could have got there, who would have knows? But I couldn't get there. So. But certainly you've got to think about the aspect of running these final 10 weeks and trying to chase after a championship with the thought of you're going to be racing that guy for the next 10 weeks. So certainly there's there's a little bit to each side of that, and you got to mind your P's and Q's and figure out what you want to do. Do you want $3 million or do you want a championship?
Well, I think the timing is rather perfect because all the drivers have figured out, for the most part, I mean, I shouldn't say all of them, but the majority have figured out who's going to be in, who's not. So, I applaud the timing of the opportunity to run for this because, like you said, it really doesn't make that big of a difference for everybody that's up. Kyle and myself who are locked in essentially. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. I have a question to Marcus. Now, after your first win a few weeks ago in Watkins Glen, does this shift the interest in the Australian media now to you instead of Mark Webber in Formula One or David Brabham?
I don't know. It was great to get my first win, but to be honest with you, we've got absolutely nothing to lose here this weekend. And if we can snag another win here, win $3 million, it'll be a bigger story than Mark Webber in F1 for sure. But, Mark's done great. He's a fantastic driver, good friend of mine, so I'm not going to steal any thunder from him. He deserves all the attention he can get. But definitely NASCAR's gaining a lot of awareness in Australia, and winning at Watkins Glen helped a lot.
Right back here.
Chipfoot of RacingToday.com. Guys, back in the 1990s, the previous sponsor of the Cup Series had a similar program, and they really did a lot of hyping, and there was a lot of publicity for those events. If the driver could win a certain number of races, they'd take home $1 million. I'm just wondering, maybe not so much for Marcus, but your other 3 guys, do you have any memories of guys winning those bonus races back in the 1990s?
I remember a little bit about it. The Noble 5 program is what you're alluding to, and I remember Jeff Gordon winning it. And taking home the $1 million bonus when he won at Darlington. I think you had to pick up 3 of the 4 most notable races of the year, and Jeff did that. So I remember that one. I think it was Earnhardt Sr. who won at Talladega, if I remember correctly, one of those races as well too, and they had the special orange roof numbers and spoilers and stuff like that. So there certainly was a lot of attention brought to it then. And, missing it for a few years, I applaud Sprint for making a unique opportunity for this program and bringing it back and giving a chance to the drivers and to the charities as well as to the fans. That's something that's never been done before. I think that the Sprint guys should be applauded a lot for being able to bring in the aspect a lot more than to just the driver. Sure, it's cool for anybody to have the opportunity to win $1 million like it would be in the All-Star race, but when it relates to a fan and a charity, that certainly drives up the ante a little bit.
Marty in the back.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Kyle, you talk about driving up the ante. It's an excellent segue, young man. $3 million is a lot of money, y'all. If you are door-to-door out of 4, how much more apt would you be to play dirty with that money on the line?
I don't know. Hopefully, if it's against another guy who's not eligible, they can put themselves in our shoes for a minute and think about the rewards of a fan and of the charity that certainly are going to be able to achieve that. So, I think you do what you got to do to win. If it's a scenario where you come off turn 4 like Jeff Gordon and Harvick or Jimmy Johnson and Carl Edwards, certainly we've seen those types of races end that way here in Atlanta. And, I think you do all you can to try to win the race. Maybe look a little bit like Logano and myself last week at Bristol, try to use the guy up a little bit.
Do the rest of you not want to touch that one, or it's entirely up to you?
Well, I think Atlanta is one of the best racetracks we go to personally, and it's a great event for this. Where like Kyle said, there's some close finishes. There's 2 or 3 grooves. It's going to make a great finish, and regardless if you rub the guy the wrong way or whatever, it's going to go down to the end. It's going to be a great race.